What's going on, everybody? Today's video we are going to be showing how to tint the curved glass. Today we have a 2004 Honda Civic in here for 20% all the way around. But today's video we're going to really focus on the curvature of the back glass, shrinking the tint, making sure not to get any creases. Here we go. So first of all, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and clean your glass just like any other normal window. All right, so the next step is you're gonna lightly mist the glass, and you're gonna take a dryer sheet, that's what we prefer to use, and you're gonna go ahead and start wiping down the glass. What this is gonna do is this is gonna cause a film between the tint and the glass itself, because if you just, the amount of shrinking you have to do on the curved glass, if you just use water, it's gonna dry too fast, and then you'll have nothing between the tint and the glass for the tint to move as you're pushing out the fingers. So what you're going to do is you're going to wipe the glass down, making sure to cover all your areas. And then you're just going to let that dry to a haze. Just to lay out your tint. All right, so now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna make sure your tint is nice and straight all the way across. And then you'll just do a general trim all the way around. And now that you have your tint cut to the general size of the window, what you're gonna do is you're gonna make an H pattern. Now the reason for the H pattern, because you're going to be shrinking the tint top to bottom, not left to right. You know, the tint will only shrink one way. So now what you're going to do is you're going to spread your fingers out as much as you can. And again, we're using a felt squeegee, just, you know, just the vinyl wrap squeegees. All right, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your heat gun, you're gonna evenly come across the top of all the fingers. See, with doing this, you don't bunch up a finger, then you get a lot of excess material that it makes it extremely hard to shrink if you put it in a confined area. So with this way, we have our heat gun, and just go left to right. And you'll get a feel for it because you'll see the tint shrink. And as you do, you push it out. Again, working your way across. Don't just work straight down on each one. It makes it a lot more difficult.
All right, so here's a close-up of what you should see. When you get your heat gun on, you see all the fingers in the tint. See, what you'll do is as you start to shrink, you see the tint tightening up as you're going. Again, work across the glass. That way you don't get too much bunches in one area. So you can see the tint shrinking. Make sure your gun's not set too high. You don't want to, start to melt the material. But again, just work it as you go, little by little. And then when you get to a good area, which you can do. I typically don't do it like this, but then you start to move your fingers down. And as you can see, they stay. But you'll get some that will spread back up. Of course, you just use the same technique, go back over it with heat. Just working the material down. Again, spread it out over a large area. You don't want to bunch up too much of the film on the side. You don't want to, do a straight down in the centers, because then you have more material on the side you have to work with. Also, I'd like to point out, as far as your strokes coming down to, eliminate your fingers, make sure you don't start at the top and shrink the finger all the way down. Because what you're doing is you're now sealing the tint all the way to the bottom. So with not doing that, as you're coming down slowly, you can still push out and work around, shift the material around so you have plenty of room to shrink the material. Where if you come straight down with it and you get tight here and tight here, you only have a limited space that you can shrink it, and you're gonna end up creasing the film. After you made all your cuts, a lot of people have the option of cutting around the third brake light or just, tinting over it. Also, make sure you cut out your defrost